Hi everyone, and welcome to another manga recommendations video. This is just where I look at a manga series, do a kind of short overview of what it's like, and give you a couple recommendations on similar series, or if you're a fan of those series, that you might like this one. So this is A Bride Story by Kaoru Mori. It's currently being published in Japan. It has 8 volumes out there and has been running since 2008. It's a seinen series about a young woman in Central Asia during the Silk Road period, and her life very much focused on drama, history, as well as romance. But more so than I think Emma Mori's older work, this is a lot more interesting. It has a broader view, I think, than Emma did, and the artwork itself is phenomenal in A Bride Story. It's incredibly well researched. It's about this young woman who has just recently gotten married to a young man a lot younger than her, and more so than just focusing on the age gap and the actual realities of being married to a 12-year-old. It's much more so about the respect they have with each other as people, as well as Amir trying to fit into her new family. She has a very different background from a nomadic tribe, so it's both a learning experience for both of them. Not just insofar as their marriage, but kind of this culture shock between the two, or her and her new family. It's a story that does follow a bunch of young women throughout its run. There isn't just one main character with this, but the story itself is always does always kind of come back to Amir and her husband Karluk. So as you can see, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's really one of my favorite parts of Mori's work is the artwork, and the back, as you can see, is again really lovely. They're hardcover releases by Yen Press, who I believe is releasing the 8th volume in August or late this year. So hopefully we should be seeing that soon. But the artwork itself inside the volumes is just great. It's a monthly series, but even so, the amount of detail that goes into pretty much every panel is phenomenal. So, Volume 1, as you have seen already, Volume 2, Volume 3, which is where we kind of are introduced to more characters, as it were. Oop. Volume 6. What is out of order? Okay, Volume 6. Volume 5. Volume 4. Don't know why these are out of order. 5, 6, 2, 3. And Volume 7, which is the most recent volume in English. And this volume in particular does have a bit more of a mature feeling to it. It's about the public baths, or the public women's baths during that time. So yes, there's quite a bit of nudity in this volume in particular, but overall the series is very tasteful with that sort of higher end maturity thing. As far as recommendations go, anime wise, the closest thing to this series would probably be The World Is Still Beautiful, a show that has been released by Sentai just recently on DVD and Blu-ray, subtitled. It has a similar idea of an age gap between the romantic interests, as it were, but it's not focused on the romance aspect of it in the same sense that a lot of other series does focus on romantic relationships, if that makes sense. Another similar series, manhwa, Korean comics, would be The Bride of the Water God, as well as the manga series Gung. And if you're interested in kind of a seinen with a historical and drama kind of side to it, then Vinland Saga is also a very good release in that sense, or very good recommendation in that sense. But yes, I hope a couple of you guys try this. It's not necessarily one of the most not popular, but it's not necessarily the most recommended series. I think it's hard to recommend a series about literal romance between, or marriage between a 20-year-old and a 12-year-old, without it being like, oh, but it is actually not creepy. There is actually more substance to this than just being strangely, focused on that. So of course, there's that word of caution, but honestly, it's a lot more. I think the characters have a lot more respect with each other than even a lot of other romance series within the seinen or shonen genre, or shoujo genre as well. So it is a very, very interesting series, and I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.